Where I grew up, we ate them. I want to start there because it tells you something. In my village in Guangdong, a hornet nest was not a thing you ran from. It was food. The white larvae, the ones packed in the comb, you steamed them or you fried them, and they were rich, and nobody wasted them. The grown wasps, too, some of them. So I did not learn to be afraid of these insects. I learned them close up, in the hand, on the plate. And that is a different thing from fear. When you have eaten something, you understand it, and you do not flinch, and you do not hate it either. I say this because most of what you are sold about wasps and hornets and yellow jackets is sold on fear, and fear makes people do foolish and dangerous things. My name is Frank Chen, and I am going to show you the safe way, the real way, to clear the stinging insects out of your yard and a good way past it. It is cheap, it works, and it is a poison, and I am going to talk to you about that part honestly, which the other fellows do not, because I am not going to have somebody's child or somebody's dog hurt on my account. Let me tell you first how it was done in the village, because the old way teaches you the idea, and then I will show you the better way I use now. When a nest had to go, and sometimes it did, near the door, over the path where the children ran, the old men did it at night. This is the one true rule that has not changed in 1,000 years and will not change. You deal with a nest at night, in the dark, in the cool, when every wasp is home and slow and cannot fly well. Never in the daytime. In the daytime, half of them are out, and the ones that are home are quick and hot, and they come for you. At night, they are all in one place, and they are stupid with the cold. The old way was fire and smoke. A torch, a bundle of burning straw lifted up under a hanging nest, or a smoking fire set at the mouth of a nest in the ground. The smoke put them down, the fire took the nest. I am not going to tell you to do this, and I want to be plain about why. Fire is how people burn down a shed or a fence or themselves, standing under a tree in the dark, waving a torch at a nest full of angry hornets. The old men did it because they had nothing else. You have something else. So take from the old way only the part that is pure gold, which is this: at night, when they are all home. Hold on to that. Now here is what I use now, and it is a cleverer thing than fire, because it does not just kill the wasps you can see. It kills the ones you cannot. It kills the nest you never found. You do not go to the nest at all. You let them come to you, and you let them carry their own death home. Here is the idea, and once you understand the idea, the rest is simple. A wasp, a hornet, a yellow jacket, in the warm part of the year is out hunting food to carry back to the nest, to the young. That is her whole job. So you set out a food she loves, and you put into that food a slow poison, a very small amount, weak, gentle. And here is the whole trick, the thing you must understand or it does not work. It has to be weak. If it is strong and it kills her there at the dish, you have killed one wasp and taught the rest nothing. You do not want that. You want it weak enough that she eats and feels fine and flies home carrying it in her belly and on her feet, and feeds it to the others and to the young and to the queen before any of them knows anything is wrong. One forager can carry your gift to 100 she lives with. That is how you empty a nest you never laid eyes on. The poison is boric acid. And I have to stop here and be careful with you, because here is where the other videos lie to you and I will not. Get the real thing. Boric acid, the pure white powder, the kind sold for exactly this. Not the laundry powder with the mule on the box. That is a different thing, borax, and it is not what you want here. You want boric acid. And now the part they skip. This is a poison. I am going to say that plainly and more than once. The men who make these videos smile and tell you it is not really toxic, it is only a little, it will not hurt your pets. That is not true, and it is a careless thing to tell people. The reason this works at all is that it is poison. And you are going to hide that poison inside sweet juice, the most tempting, best-smelling thing. Apple juice, melon, something sweet a wasp cannot resist. Well, a dog cannot resist it either. A child cannot resist it either. A jug of sweet juice is exactly the thing a small child will pick up and drink. So you will treat this the way you would treat any poison in your house, with respect, and I will show you how. And if you are not willing to do that part, then do not make this at all. Buy a trap from the store instead. I mean that. So here is how you make it and how you keep it safe, together, because to me, they are the same job. Take a clear jug, a water jug, a juice jug, clear so you can see the level inside. Fill it with a sweet juice. Apple is good. Real apple juice, the cloudy kind, not the sharp, clear kind, and not orange or lemon, the sour ones they do not want. Into that juice, you put a small amount of the boric acid. Small, much less than you would think. Well under a spoonful to a good large jug of juice. Remember, the whole secret is that it must be weak, weak enough that the wasp lives to fly home. If you dump in a big spoonful, you have made it too strong, and you have made it more dangerous to have around, and you have made it worse at the one job it has, a little. Swirl it until it goes into the juice. Now, some people add a piece of meat too, a bit of bacon, or a scrap of melon floating in it, because early in the summer, the wasps want meat and protein for the young, and later they want the sweet. You can, it is not needed. The sweet juice alone will bring them. Then the cutting, and this is the safety, so listen. In the side of the jug, up near the top, you cut one small window. Small. A wasp is small. She needs almost nothing to get in. A finger of space, no more. You cut it small on purpose so that a bird cannot get in there, a squirrel cannot get in there, a mouse cannot reach the juice. Only something small and flying. Small window, high on the jug. And then you hang it. You do not set it on the ground. On the ground, the raccoon finds it in the night, knocks it over, drinks the sweet, and now you have poisoned the very animal you were not after, and made a mess a child could find in the morning. So you hang it, high, above your own head, 6 feet, higher, from a fence hook, a branch, a gate, somewhere up and out of the way, where no dog can reach it, where no child playing can reach it, where the wildlife at night cannot get to it. High, sealed but for that one small window, and hung where it will not be knocked down. And you label it. If you make extra and keep it, and you can keep it, put it in a jar with a lid and write on it, in big plain letters, poison, not apple juice, poison. Because the day will come when someone opens your refrigerator or your shed and sees a jar of apple juice, and it must not be a guess. This costs you nothing, and it is the difference between a clever trick and a tragedy. I will not teach you the trick without the label. They go together. Now let me tell you when to do this, because the timing is the cleverest part of the whole business, and almost nobody thinks about it. The best time, far and away, is the spring. Early, when the days first turn warm, when your last hard frost is behind you. And here is why. In the spring, there is no nest yet. There is only the queen. She came through the winter alone, and now she is out, by herself, hunting to start her nest, to feed her first few children. In the spring, one queen is walking around your yard who will otherwise become a nest of hundreds by August. If your dish is out in the spring and she feeds, you have not killed one wasp. You have killed the entire summer's nest before it was ever built. Every wasp that would have come from her, gone before it began. One jug in April is worth a dozen in August. The second best time is the fall. In the fall, the nest is big and hungry, packed with young that eat, and the foragers are working themselves ragged to feed them, desperate for food, less careful. So they find your dish fast, and they carry it back deep into a crowded nest, and it goes through the whole colony. Fall does not stop next year's wasps the way spring does, but it clears out the big, angry nest you have right now. You can do it any time the weather is warm. But if you remember one thing, remember the spring. Get the queen and you have won the whole year without a fight. Now I want to say the honest thing about what this will and will not do, because the title on a video like this always promises your whole neighborhood wasp-free, and I am not going to promise you more than is true. This works. Put out a few of these over a quarter acre through a season, and you will see the nests around your place drop away. And by the next year, you will stand in your yard in August and realize you have not been bothered and not thought about it in weeks. It reaches well past your own fence because the foragers range far. So yes, you are helping the neighbors too, whether they know it or not. But it is not instant. It is not a spray that clears the air in an afternoon. It is slow and quiet and patient. It works the way the nest works, a little at a time from the inside. Give it that time. And your honeybees are safe. And this matters to me, so let me tell you why it is true and not just a comfort. The honeybee is not a hunter. She does not come to your meat, and she is not drawn to a jug of juice in a corner the way the wasp is. She is out at the flowers, at the blossoms, doing her work in the open where the nectar is. She has no interest in your dark little jug. It is the wasp and the hornet and the yellowjacket that hunt, that scavenge, that come to the sweet and the meat, and it is them and only them this calls in. Still, hang it away from your flowering things, over by where the trash goes, along the back fence, not in the middle of the bee's garden, and you need not worry about her at all. So, let me put it together plainly. Deal with any nest itself only at night, when they are all home and slow, and do not use fire. That was for people who had nothing. For the wider problem, the nests you cannot see, you let them come to you. A clear jug, sweet juice, a small, weak amount of real boric acid, so weak the wasp lives to carry it home to the whole nest. One small window cut high, too small for bird or beast. Hung up high, out of the reach of every child and every animal. Labeled poison, always, if you keep any. Set out in the spring to kill the queen before the nest exists, or in the fall to empty the nest that does. Away from your flowers, so the honeybee goes on about her work in peace. That is the whole thing. It is cheaper than one trip to the store for those little store traps. It reaches 100 times as far, and if you respect the one hard part, the poison part, it is safe in your yard for years. We ate these things in the village, and I hold no grudge against a wasp. She is only doing her work, the same as the bee, the same as us. But she cannot nest over the door where the grandchildren run, and I am too old to fight her nest to nest. So I let her carry the answer home herself. It is the patient way, and the patient way is almost always the one that lasts. Tell me in the comments where you are, and which of the three plagues you fight worst: the yellow jacket in the ground, the wasp under the eave, or the big hornet in the tree. And tell me, has anyone else here ever eaten them the way we did? I know I am not the only one. I would like to hear where you were and how your people cooked them. Next time, I am going to show you what we did with the ordinary chicken egg to keep the deer and the rabbits out of the garden. Without a fence, without a gun, with a smell they will not cross that you cannot even smell yourself after a day. It cost us almost nothing. It kept the whole crop alive. Until then. If you set out a jug, hang it high, and write on it plain,